Happy fucking New Year's, Canada. It's time to get to work.
Income inequality is on the rise and growing unsustainably. It's been getting really bad since the 1980s.
What's worse is that this is giving rise to a lot of pissed off people who don't really know who to be mad at.
And there are people and groups that are taking full advantage of this to stroke angers and fears towards marginalized groups. They'll tell you it's because of immigrants, or share false information that refugees are receiving more money than veterans. It's not true. Just so they can pit us against each other.
They'll tell you that welfare is to blame, or this, or that, or everything else. But there are rich lobby groups and friends that are constantly lobbying the government to loosen regulations, or decrease taxes for corporations, or increase subsidies for the corporation, or hey, bend over, because here comes the long dong of the frickin' corporate dog.
Well, that escalated quickly. Canadian CEOs make up to 200 times what the average Canadian worker makes. The top 20% owns as much as 70% of Canada's wealth, whereas the bottom 20% owns less than 1% of Canada's wealth. All in all, the bottom half of all Canadians, probably all you watching this video, only own collectively about 6% of all of Canada's wealth. There are 86 families in Canada that own as much as the bottom 11 million people in this country.
Remember the Panama Papers? How about the Paradise Papers? Listen, those are just two examples of offshore tax havens. There's hundreds of them out there, and Canada signed on to 28 offshore tax havens. You lose billions and billions of dollars that could be used for social services in Canada for Canadians. These tax havens have allowed Canadians who are looking to hide their money easier access to hide their money. Oh, and don't get me started on the illegal activities that these tax havens enable.
Donald Fleming used to be the Minister of Finance and Justice under the Diefenbaker government, used to help American mobsters take their money from Cuba and hide it in the Bahamas when he represented the Bank of Nova Scotia.
Donald Fleming helped in creating these laws that allow for these rich pricks to hide their money. And he's not alone. He's not the only rich prick. Former prime ministers, Canadian prime ministers, Stephen Bronfman, who was Trudeau's fundraiser at one point during the 2015 election, and even the fucking Queen were all named in Paradise Papers.
Oh, and it doesn't stop there. The sad reality is that it's been the ultra-rich and their buddy politicians that have allowed for this gross inequality to happen. These people have been shaping the laws of our land for over a century to keep themselves ahead. As if that wasn't enough, our governments consistently hand out billions in subsidies and millions in bailouts to these rich corporations who then turn around and reward their CFOs and CEOs instead of paying out pensions or reparations that they owe to their workers.
People who have been given away their labor for shit all get the middle finger when the company goes belly up. And the shareholders maniacally laugh their ass off.
Hey Trudeau, you promised to phase out fossil fuel subsidies during the 2015 election. What happened to that? Oh, that's right, over $3 billion in fossil fuel subsidies. And you nationalized the pipeline. Good job, asshole.
Hey Canada, let's send these rich pricks and their government buddies a message. Including you, Elizabeth the fucking Queen.
Share this with your MP and demand that the government take action on offshore tax havens, close the loopholes that allow for individuals and corporations to hide their money abroad, and end corporate welfare.
'Cause that's power to people.